Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Malone, all the way. Are you in Dublin right now?
Yeah.
How's Bono?
He's good. I was just with him for a coffee.
Yeah.
And he was asking for you. I think he's going to tune in a few minutes. He needs some good ideas.
Nice. Well, hey, if you're tuning into Periscope today, the timing just happened to work out that my friend Dan Malone from Ireland called me right when I was getting ready to go on Periscope, so I answered it on my computer. You've got some major lens flare going on. Are you driving and FaceTiming at the same time?
Yeah, it's legal. It's legal over here because you don't have to look. See, when you're on the other end of the phone, Josh, it's actually a deterrent to look on the road.
It's what?
It's what?
Oh, a deterrent. Got it. Yeah. Well, I love you too.
Looking at the phone and looking on the road.
Yeah, well, I love you too. Well, those of you who don't know, Dan is actually the National Youth Director for the Republic of Ireland, or the entire island, or the Republic?
Well, the entire island, yeah. It's all the Republic, really, but we won't get into that political debate.
Let's not get into that one. But I think as far as Christians go, you're all united, right?
We are.
Good.
We are.
Very good. Well, good to have you. We're going to be talking today. Today, the topic is why your best ideas fail. Have you ever had a really good idea that you couldn't understand, but it just didn't work?
Yeah, I've had some good ideas, and then I've realized that they're pretty average, and they've probably been invented before. You know.
Yeah.
But I have a friend who says that 1,000 good ideas aren't as good as one God idea.
Oh, that's good.
That's good, isn't it?
1,000 good ideas aren't as good as one God idea. I like it. I like it a lot.
Hey, listen, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to actually tune in on Periscope and watch it.
All right. Well, good talking to you.
God bless you, bro.
You too. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Oh, there's Brian. Wait, let me flip this around. Uh-oh, did I just end my... I think I just ended my Periscope, Brian. Oh, no, I'm still going. Let's get this turned on. There's Brian. Yeah, we're still live here. How you doing?
Yeah.
All right, so we're trying something new today for everybody watching. I'm going to flip it around, and then how about we do it like this? And I'm going to clean my lens because it looks kind of foggy there. So what we're going to try today, and Brian Chapman's on here. Say hi, Brian. Oh, great. Now we don't have audio. I can't hear you. There we go. So Brian's on Google Plus. If you're a Google Plus user, he's on a Google Hangout. And what you can do is, my dad says hi, Brian.
Hey, listen, I was going to go get a haircut today. My hair looks terrible because I didn't put any product in it from Jessica's.
Since you brought up the subject, what kind of hair product do you use?
I don't know. It's clay.
Oh,
Jessica gave it to me.
Oh, Jessica Stevens?
Yeah, Jessica Stevens.
Wait. She's gonna cut your hair?
She was cutting my hair for a long time before she moved.
Well, that's why I was asking. Who cut your hair now?
It's some barber.
Okay, because Jessica was doing mine too, but she's gone now. Abigail.
I know she's trying to get me to get your hair cut.
Yeah. Abigail's been doing mine.
Oh, how's she doing?
She's good. So what we really want to do today, and Brian's on the other end, and he'll make this happen for us. Hey, Brian, I didn't tell you this, but I went onto the Facebook page, and if you will enter your Google Plus account name or your Gmail, keysforkids.org, is that the same Keys for Kids that we used to listen to when I was a little kid on, like, Christian radio? I wonder if that is. If it is, we used to subscribe to Keys for Kids. My mom may still. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of hearts there, so maybe we've made a connection. If you will put on the Michigan Youth Leader Network Facebook page, if you will put your username, Brian will add you to our Google Hangout, and you'll be able to be on the video chat, which means you'll be able to not just communicate with Periscope. You can always add your comments down here at the bottom, which welcome to do that at any time. You're welcome to tap on my nose or tap on my forehead or whatever. That's a way that you can interact. But today I want to talk specifically about why good ideas fail. And I titled it, Stop Killing Your Best Ideas. And I don't know about you, but I have been guilty of killing my best ideas. I think I originally became aware of this concept when I was, there's Drew Butterfield. Sorry, I just came in. What are we talking about on this Google thing? Well, the title today, Drew, is Stop Killing Your Best Ideas, Why Good Ideas Fail. When I was a kid, I wasn't so much a kid. When I was 18 years old, I swindled my way into my first job on the radio. And so I had a radio show. They let me be on from midnight to 6 a.m., and I would do the weather and news and things like that. And then about 6 months later, got to be on the radio in the evenings. 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. was my window. And I remember having all kinds of creative ideas that I would try, and they just didn't work. Not only did they not work, people would actually call into the radio station and complain about different things that I was trying. I remember, Brian, how silly does this sound? If you can imagine this. I remember in the afternoon on my radio show doing a Chubby Bunny contest with people coming into the studio to do a Chubby Bunny contest. So
marshmallows or red hots?
Marshmallows.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was just it was maybe a good idea, but not the right timing.
That's awesome.
Chubby, yeah, exactly. Kristen right away, she said, "Oh no, yeah. That should be everybody's response to an on the radio, on the air Chubby Bunny contest. That's something you do on Wednesday night in youth service, not while someone is giving you control of 100,000 watts of broadcast power." So I learned pretty quickly that there really needed to be a process for my ideas. And here's what my boss did. Again, I was a young kid. I was 18 years old. He said, "I want you to write down everything you're going to say on the radio." And I hated it because it required a lot of work. All of a sudden, this fun job came with a bunch of busy work that I just didn't want to do. I just wanted to turn on the mic and have fun and be silly. But what happened is, as I wrote down those ideas, he would say to me, "That's a good one. That's not a good one. That's a good one if you do it this way. Let me make a little adjustment, a little tweak." And so I found that if I would use him as a sounding board, my ideas would go over better. We would meet with better success. And then eventually, on the evening radio program, Domino's Pizza picked us up as a sponsor. We got more listeners, and it just became a lot more fun because we gave the ideas the time to grow and the time to develop into what they needed to be. And then recently, I read a book by the author Jon Acuff. I highly recommend this one. Jon Acuff, Jon. Acuff is Acuff. I see some hearts flying there. I guess we got some other Jon Acuff fans. I actually got a chance to meet him, and he was at a conference that I was attending, and I knew that I was going to see him, so I downloaded his book on Audible, listened to it on the way there, about an hour and a half drive, and got there, and when I got a chance to meet him, I was able to ask him some questions, and this was the main thing I wanted to talk to him about, was how he decided which ideas were good and which were bad. And he actually pointed to a section in his book called Start, which was the book I was listening to, and it was further down than what I'd listened to that day, but where he actually has a process that he takes his ideas through. So today I've added some of my ideas to his ideas, and so that's the big citing my source that I'm going to give on this Periscope to Jon Acuff, and I've entitled it "Stop Killing Your Best Ideas, Why Good Ideas Fail." My wife tells me that if I've had more than 2 cups of coffee, I should not do any ideas. Any ideas I come up with 2 cups of coffee or more are just ideas not worth having. Hey, Brian, before I go any further, do we have anybody on Google Plus there that we can show? Or
No.
Okay. Just me. You said that in such a defeated tone. No. It's okay. I like trying new things. Are you okay trying new things?
Absolutely, all the time.
Good. I don't know if people can see you or not, or if this is just...
Yeah, I can see myself. I'm watching on my computer.
Okay, good. All right. I'm sitting at my dining room table, if you're wondering where I'm at. My wife decorates, not me. So let's talk about how to keep... You don't know about Google stuff? I know! Google Hangouts, man! It's crazy! Billions and billions of dollars! Tech experts from places like MIT and Stanford.
Is she using a flip phone?
Who? Drew?
From Butterfield.
John Kessler uses a flip phone. Don't make fun. Hey, John J. Wilson is on, so now we got to get serious and start talking about the important stuff. Hey, John J., thanks for the pink heart. Give us some more. Brian, have you ever had an idea that you thought was just amazing, but when you actually tried it, it just didn't work like you thought it would?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What? Anything in recent memory?
Well, here's the deal. I like to think I'm an inventor sometimes. And so I have a lot of brilliant ideas, right? And so one of them was to, I'm a large guy, and everybody has this idea that I grow food, right? And so my grill, I'm a big guy, and my turn-off valve for my grill is underneath on the back, and it's a lot of work, right? So I have this brilliant idea. I need to invent a mechanism that turns my propane on and off from the front of my grill. And so I had this brilliant idea. I was going to make millions of dollars, and it ended up being a terrible idea, and nobody thought it was a great idea. And I still tried and attempted to make it work.
Does it work?
It did not work.
Oh, it just didn't work. Well, so you're an inventor. I guess what I was thinking is more like leadership ideas or outreach ideas. I can think.
Absolutely.
I can think of times where we came up with like what I thought was the best outreach idea. Every kid in town was going to attend, and then like 20 people show up. My wife says she hearts. Oh, yeah. My wife is reminding me of one of my biggest idea fails. Thank you, Jennifer. I don't know where she's. I think you're at the Dollar Tree. Are you watching Periscope at the Dollar Tree? So do you want to hear mine's actually much more embarrassing than that. Do you want to hear mine?
Absolutely.
My biggest idea fail? All right, so I'm going to explain. My big idea fail, and I'm trying to remember what year this was. This would have been probably 2005-ish, so maybe almost 10 years ago, 2006. We were changing our youth ministry to where we were going to incorporate 8th grade in with our high school ministry. And at the time I was over the high school ministry, I was working with a really cool guy named Jason McKay. I don't know if he's out there. He was our junior high pastor. And we had this idea that we wanted to welcome and make all the new junior hires that were entering the high school ministry. Because again, we were putting 8th grade in with high school. Like we'd never even heard of this before. I think we had heard of it. The idea and the philosophy was that if you give them what they really want, they'll come. And what junior hires want is to be, they want to be considered like teenagers in high schools. They want to be in with the older kids. So we thought, okay, we're going to try this. And our ministry had grown to where we just had to shuffle stuff around to facilitate all the new people that were coming. And so in order to welcome all of our new junior hires, we made T-shirts that said, "I heart 8th graders." So it took Brian. So there's Brian. It took him a minute to realize. Yeah. People are typing it. All the youth pastors right now, you get it because you're putting it together. You're like, "I heart 8." Yeah. So every adult youth leader was wearing a T-shirt that said, "I heart 8th graders." It's the thought that counts. Yeah. Hey, there's Jordan. There's Jordan. He's the new. Jordan's the new youth pastor at Where is he? It's somewhere. Jordan, tell us where you're at. He's a brand new youth pastor. If you don't know Jordan, there's his. He's on here. Give us a little comment or something there, Jordan. Tell us where you are. Charlotte. There we go. Have you started yet? Is it a secret? Is it public? Did I just make it public? So Jordan's the new youth pastor. He's going to be the new youth pastor in Charlotte with our good friend Shane Bryant. I'd love to meet you too. So we're looking forward to meeting you. But yeah. Yeah, congratulations. So I just made the public announcement. Okay, you're announcing it Sunday. I'm sorry. It's not even public yet.
Hey,
Another leadership fail by Pastor Josh. Thanks for cheering me on. Well, tell Pastor Shane I'm sorry. I didn't. Actually, don't say anything to him. He's probably not even watching. And I think we've only got youth pastors on here right now anyway. Yeah, so Jennifer just reminded me, it wasn't so, the I Heart 8th graders thing, it was okay because most of our youth leaders were young people, and so it was kind of cool because you had these cool, like, teenager, young adult types wearing these I Heart 8th grader shirts, and I didn't think it was a bad thing until and we had several of these, but the first leader who showed up who was over the age of 40 that walked in wearing an I Heart 8th graders shirt, it was like fire alarms were going off in my brain. Not just fire alarms, police alarms. I was picturing CPS showing up. I was picturing, being arrested. I was picturing the front page of the Fenton, the Tri-County Times there in Fenton, announcing that, there was a pervy youth pastor at the Freedom Center. So that was one of the idea fails. I remember once I started training people at my radio job, I mentioned that a moment ago, I remember training young disc jockeys, and they would have really creative ideas, but because their experience wasn't really there yet, they would execute these ideas. They'd do a giveaway on the air, or they would do a contest, and it just wouldn't work. People wouldn't respond. They wouldn't call in. They wouldn't get the results that they wanted. And I told them, hey, listen, you're new. Write down your ideas, and once you get to a place where you're able to, where you're really able to do, and we had some metrics there, when you're able to run the equipment, when you're able to do things like news and weather without messing up, then you can start introducing your ideas. So that was one of the metrics we used in that context. Somebody made a comment a few minutes ago. Oh, there he is, Jeff Westheim. So Jeff, do you have a 6-step process? I would love to get Jeff on this video chat, by the way. So Jeff, if you're on Google Plus, or if you're on FaceTime me, and I'll bring you up on here because I'd love to hear your process. But let me tell you the process that I've kind of written down. I don't know that this is so much a process as it is principles. If you're taking notes, you can write these down. I really think they'll help you. And before we do that, let me just say, this Periscope brought to you by the Refreshed Conference on the Ministry, happening January 11th and 12th at the Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, Michigan. So that's happening. That's coming up if you're at Assemblies of God. My FaceTime is my phone number.
What's your phone number, Jeff?
You know what? Every youth pastor is welcome to have it. It's not a secret there. I'm going to message it to you, Jeff. Although I don't think I have Jeff's number. Oh, yep, I do. There, I got it. Okay, I'm messaging. I'm just FaceTime me on my phone number. You've got my number, Jeff. There, I'll just send you a hi. So FaceTime me on that. Don't stop talking, but I love Google Plus, but can't find the Hangout. Just mention how to find it. This isn't actually a Google Hangout. It's just we couldn't figure out how to create a Google Hangout. Is that about it, Brian?
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't figure it out. So what we've done is we've started a Google video chat. And if you'll give us your username, we will add you to it. Just put your name on the. Are you on the Facebook page, Brian?
Yeah.
So Waz is on here. Put your username on the Facebook page, the Michigan Youth Leader Facebook page, and then he can add you to it. I feel like we're spending a lot of time with this technology, which maybe in the future it'll become a little bit easier. All right, so number one, I'm just going to walk through these one at a time. If you've got comments, if you've got things to add, or if you've got stories, we'd love to hear those. I know it's difficult to type a 144-character story and really get the message across, but we'd love for you to share either way. I'll share it now. I'm going to share it now. We just keep getting distracted is all. So the number one thing I think with your ideas is you need to know before you even start doing ideas, launching ideas as a youth pastor, as a leader, as a manager, as a team builder, as a creator of ideas, as a networker. You've got a great idea. You're going to take your business, you're going to take your ministry, you're going to take your idea to the next level. I think before you even do that, you need to know something about yourself, and you need to answer these questions. What are you good at, and what are you trusted with today? See, a lot of times you have ideas in areas that you're not good at. I've had ideas for inventions, but I don't even know how. I can't even assemble a piece of furniture from IKEA. I don't change my own oil. I don't change my brake pads. I don't fix things necessarily. The best thing I've learned from HGTV and watching DIY and PBS, This Old House, the best thing I've learned from that is that you need to call somebody when stuff breaks. So that's how good I am with stuff. And so I know that that's something I'm not good at. So if I have a really good idea on something to invent or build or engineer, I have to step back from it and say, hey, that's not even something I'm really good at. Doesn't mean I don't do the idea, but let me move on and tell you what I might do if I have an idea that's outside of my skill set. But even before you get to that, again, this is before you've even shared the idea, it's before you've announced it, it's before you've executed it. Thank you, wife. What are you good at? What are you trusted with? Number two, create buy-in. Create buy-in. So many times there are people who will, in fact, contact me as a youth pastor or now as the district youth director, and they have an idea that they want to connect with people. They just want to get their idea in front of people. They want to share it with people, and maybe it's a great idea. And they think, well, hey, because you know these people, you'll be able to get them on board with my idea. Now, that's not a bad thought. A lot of people will get offended at that. Oh, they're trying to use me. They're trying to use my influence. I don't have a problem with that at all. I like connecting people. I enjoy it. I take personal, I feel like I'm doing what I was created to do when I connect people. But until people buy into you, they're not going to buy into your idea. So I can't just give my idea to someone who has influence and expect that to work. I need people to buy into me as well. So I work and purposefully work on my own network and connecting and providing things like this Periscope for free and not asking for anything in return, just wanting to connect with people and add value to whatever it is they do, to their leadership role. So create buy-in. The quote was, people won't buy into your idea until they buy into you first. Number 3, cultivate your idea. So as we talk about cultivating your idea, give it time to grow. Now, cultivating could refer to the way, I'm looking at my lawn right now. I know that if I fertilize, I know that if I aerate, I know that if I will dethatch every few years, then I'll have really green, nice grass. I know if I water it. You got to cultivate your ideas. And when we first moved into this house, for instance, the house had been empty for a couple of years. They'd mowed it, but the grass was really in rough shape. It took a couple of years before it started looking nice, just doing the right things. And sometimes you got to do that with your ideas. You have to do the right things to your ideas. That means you write it down. In fact, after cultivate, I would say curate. So cultivating and curate, they kind of go hand in hand. Cultivating has more to do with engineering your idea, writing it down, reading it to yourself, starting to share it with people whose opinions actually matter to you. And then the next one, like I said, is curate. Now, how is curate different than cultivate? Well, with cultivating, you're actually engineering, you're making modifications, you're sharing, you're letting other people see it a little bit, not the masses, not the big group, but you're letting those in your inner circle take a look. With curating, you're collecting those ideas. You're putting them on a file on your computer or a journal. You're putting them on Post-it notes all over your creative space or your office or wherever it is that you like to think, in your car maybe. You're putting it on Pinterest. I've seen, that's basically what Pinterest is that it's just a great big format for curating ideas. So after you cultivate, after you curate, let me talk, and then simultaneously building your network. I mentioned that a moment ago. But what is building your network? What does that mean? Does that mean getting more friends on Facebook? Does that mean getting more likes, more follows on Twitter? Does that mean getting more retweets? I don't think so. I think building your network specifically, if I were to narrow down my definition of what I try to do when I'm building a network, like what am I doing? I'm trying to find, and I'm going to read this to get it right, I'm trying to find like-minded individuals who either will improve what I'm trying to accomplish, or I can improve what they're trying to accomplish. A quote that I've used on Periscope before is, you've got a genius that other people need. You have a weakness that needs another person's genius. I botched that quote, I'm sorry, so let me just try it one more time. You have a genius that other people need. You have a weakness that needs someone else's genius. So that's the quote. And really, that's my motivation for building a network, is that I really do believe that we're better together. So what I do is I'm looking for other youth pastors. That's what I know that's not really my title anymore, but I still consider myself a youth leader. Some have called me the youth pastor of youth pastors. For me, honestly, I feel like that's a title I need to earn. So I don't really just assume that that's what I can be right now, but I do want to earn that title. I want to continue to develop leaders. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what I enjoy. It's what I feel like God's created me and equipped me to do. So you're finding like-minded individuals that can either improve, support, or promote what you're trying. Stop it. Tom Roosh is one of the funniest youth pastors in the Michigan district. Really glad he's on today. And I'll be with Tom on Sunday. I'll be at your church on Sunday. That's going to be awesome. And unless somebody else dies, I'm not going to cancel. So, was that too soon for that comment? Drew, you're awesome. So far, here's what we've got. Asking yourself, what are you good at? What are you trusted with? Number 2, create buy-in. Number 3, cultivate. In fact, I can do this right now. For anybody who's taking notes on this, I will actually put this on my YouTube page later. I'll put the video and I'll put the notes below it. Whoever is green and is hitting all those hearts, man, you are awesome. I really appreciate that. So encouraging to see those hearts flying. So there's the notes. Oh, there you can see where we're going too. Oh, somebody screen captured. Even better. Like I said, I'll put this on Facebook. Oh, that's you, Drew? You're awesome, dude. Thanks, man. It feels good to see those hearts fly because it reminds me that someone's actually watching. They actually care. So building your support network. And then the last one, there's two more. One is build relational equity. The other one is determine the right time. Let me flip this around. Okay, so let me talk about those last two, and then we'll wrap up. And hey, West Time, if you're still on here, really would love to hear your process. Let's give you some dedicated time here in just a minute, though. Is that cool? Let me cover these last two, and then we'll come straight to you. So be typing it up, have it ready, and then that way you can just hit send, and we can all see your process for launching your ideas. My YouTube page is the same as my username right here on Periscope, which is Josh Wellborn. WELLBORN. Build relational equity. How do you build relational equity? A lot of people want to network, but they're not really willing to invest in those relationships. So how do you do that? I think in a word or in a phrase, in a nutshell, you offer something for free. You add value and ask for nothing in return. I think that's the best way to build relational equity. I think it communicates to people that you're a giver. I think it communicates to people that you're a servant. You know, a lot of people think, well, the way I'm going to build my network is I'm going to be the smartest youth pastor out there. I'm going to be the sharpest. I'm going to be the funniest. I'm going to be the most creative. Honestly, there's always going to be somebody smarter. There's always going to be somebody more creative. And frankly, if you go down that road, there's a couple of things that leads to. I think one, it leads to comparison. You start comparing yourself to others, and I think when you do that, you always lose, because one of two things is going to happen. One, you might feel like a loser because you're going to compare and realize that you're not as cool as you thought you were, or two, you're going to be like, oh, I'm better than him, and then that leads to pride, and pride is the root of all kinds of failure, and so we don't want you to do that. So again, building relational equity, really for me, it all boils down to offering something for free. And it's not so that you can get something in return. It's to communicate that, again, you care more about adding value to others than you do taking something from them. You care more about adding your genius to what they're doing. You care more about giving than receiving. And if you're sowing those kinds of seeds in your relationship, in your leadership, in your ministry, you're going to get a harvest on that investment. And if you'll cultivate that, then you'll be able to get big things. So the question is, are there any books I can recommend? Yeah, in fact, I mentioned at the beginning of this scope, a lot of what I'm saying today I got from a book called Start by John Acuff. So that's the last book I read. And then there's a book I'm reading right now. If anybody wants to join, we're going to start some kind of a book club. We'll do it digitally. We'll do it through, if we can ever figure out Google Plus Hangout. Brian, are you still on Google Hangout? Oh, he's gone. He's left. If we can ever figure that one out, I'd love to do a Google Hangout. Because I did a Google Hangout once, but somebody, I left? I didn't mean to leave. How do I call you back? I don't even know how to call you back. The only Google Hangout I've ever done is that somebody else, that's really loud, somebody else set it up, and yeah, book club. I've been putting it on my Facebook. I didn't know if anybody'd be interested. But the book is called Leading at a Higher Level. Can't think of the name of the author. It's on my Facebook. So if you go to my Facebook, you'll see that in the history, Leading at a Higher Level. Yeah, we'll get the book. I've got the audio version that I got from audible.com. You can get one free book for trying Audible, so if you want to give that a try. Let's talk about that last one. Determine the right time. Determine the right time. There were 7 things today. Determining the right time could be as simple as looking at your calendar and just seeing what makes sense. Just because you have a great idea on Tuesday afternoon at 2:31 doesn't mean that you should launch it on Wednesday night. It might. You know, if you're writing your message, if you're preparing for what you're going to say to your group on Wednesday night, this might be the best time to come up with your process. Hey, Jeff, West Time, if you're still on there, will you share with us your process for launching your ideas? My wife gave a lot of hearts today. I'm looking at that right now. Jennifer Wellborn, you win. 526 hearts. She not only is giving me Periscope hearts, but she's giving me her hearts. She's asking me now, is 30 minutes kind of long? 30 minutes is kind of long. It's long. Try that. Whoever just tried me on FaceTime, try that one more time. Anyway, Well, Jeff, if you're on there, please. Cool. Let's see if this works. How you doing, man?
How are ya?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
You're on here. I like having other people on here. I feel like I've got my own talk show.
Yeah.
Hey, so tell us. We're kind of at the tail end here, but we got a few minutes. And if I get a question on here for you, I'll point to my phone. Is that cool? And then that way you'll know that I've got a question for you on here. So tell us your process for launching your ideas.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really like not even my own process. It's like a whole church process.
Okay, even better.
Like streamlining our leadership. So every church ministry across the board has to use this process before implementing ideas and things like that. I'll actually flip the camera around here, and these are posted like across my entire church. I don't know if you can see that. Well, let me see. Is that better? Can you read that or no?
If I turn sideways, I think people will see it better.
All right. So the 6-step formulates the word appear. Step 1 is to assess. So the idea is to get focused on key results and the training needed. So like I've got an idea. Let's talk it through. Let's discuss that. Some things don't even make it past the assessment stage. Then we take it from there to prayer. Get the power of prayer. Some things make it through assessment, but we're like, that's a good idea, but it's not a God idea as we prayed about it. But let's say it makes it through prayer. Then we begin to plan, build around that idea, that goal, that dream, that event, whatever. We build a tactical plan for that, and then obviously there's a point of execution. So we launch it, we keep going. As we launch it, we make adjustments. Where do things need to change? Let's get some fresh perspective, continually fine tune it. And then ultimately, we want to replicate that. So we want to, multiply and reproduce what we created. So that's kind of like the 6-step process for like taking an idea from just a thought in my head to a functioning ministry or program or event. And we do this across the board.
I like it. That's awesome. So is there something in particular you can think of where that process has been in action in your church?
Yeah, matter of fact, we just got done with our late Christmas tea. That was this past weekend, and it was under new leadership, and they've never done a tea before. And the way the process break things out, I mean, it's like starting even 6 months out, the prep for that. And so, like, they just walked out little steps day by day until the tea became a reality, and it wasn't overwhelming. So their ideas went from a thought in their head to an amazing tea. It was over 200 ladies in attendance. It was perfect. So
very cool.
We're actually launching this in student ministries. We're making a big transition in the youth, transition back to Wednesday nights from Sunday night.
Okay.
And so this process is helping us think that through. When we transitioned to Sunday night, we didn't have that process, and we missed a lot of details. And we had to go back and smooth over a lot of bumps in the road because we didn't spend the time in assessment and in prayer and adjustments.
So you're going back from Sundays to Wednesdays?
Back from Sundays to Wednesdays, yep.
Talk about that for just a second, because I talk to youth pastors all the time who are not satisfied with whatever night of the week they're meeting on. I've talked to guys that meet on Sunday that don't like it. I've talked to guys that meet on Wednesday that don't like it. And they both want what the other has, and it sounds like you've done both. Yeah, so what? And then and then my church, they do Sunday and Wednesday night for youth service. So talk to us about that one for just a second.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it was on Wednesday nights. We also had a Sunday morning middle school program, like that went during Chad's message. And then the kids ministry needed some expansion for like the upperclassmen, like the 6th graders of the kids ministry. So we started another junior high class. So all of a sudden we've got like 3 junior high classes running, and we're just trying to get it like all converged into one. Well, the problem with school calendar is there's stuff on every night. Sunday seemed like the only night that there wasn't anything. So we're like, well, let's make the switch to Sunday night. Well, ultimately what happened is like high school, they're working on the weekends or they're resting on the weekends because their week is so crazy. So the high school buy-in just kind of like dropped. Meanwhile, the middle school exploded. So now the idea, the vision is that we want to get everybody back on Wednesday night as a family night. And so we're making a transition back. It's phase 1 of a 3-phase process. So we'll have a full middle school service, high school small group, because that's pretty much what it's become now. And then through the summer, we'll make some transitions to kids ministry and launch 2 full programs, full middle school, full high school services on Wednesday nights. So,
cool. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, for sure.
You're my first call in.
That process helped. It's really helped us here. Kind of streamlines things.
Yeah. Well, tell Chad and Angie hello for me.
Will do.
All right. Bye for now.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. So that's it for me. If you're tuning in now, you can watch the replay, or I'll upload this to YouTube. And those of you that are with the Assemblies of God, would love to see you at the Refresh Conference on the Ministry, January 11 and 12 in Traverse City. Cost us $30 for the conference, and so it's a low cost for the conference. The hotel is a block rate for Assemblies of God ministers, so go through aogmi.org for your registration, and you'll get that block rate significantly cheaper than if you just get a book a room at the Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City. Well, that's it. Hey, give us a follow, give us a like, tap my forehead, share this with people if you think this would be useful, and I think we're better together. Thanks for joining in. And by the way, if you hadn't noticed, I've been doing these on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. I love the interaction. We'll have to do more FaceTimes. We'll have to get this Google Plus Hangout thing figured out, because I do love getting other people on here. It makes it more fun for me, and I think more valuable to you. Catch you.